Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're here in Halls of Torment. Now today I'm going to show you how to farm Torment 25. This is going to enable you to farm upwards of 100,000 gold per hour, as well as upwards of 30 shards per hour. And the more efficient you get at this, the faster you're going to be able to do it as well, because your decision making is going to be very quick during your runs. You're going to end up being able to do like 2.5 runs per hour. So what are we going to do? We're going to go on the Lander Schnecht, and we're actually going to use 0 shard investment for Torment 25. I'll show you, not only is it possible, it is actually one of the most effective ways to farm in this game. So what are we going to do? We're going to go pretty defensive, defensive hood. We're going to use Mark as the shield. We're going to put on the base damage ring, plus 30 base damage, which is really nice. We're going to put the 100% crit chance ring on. Now, we're going to put the Gatherer's Charm so we can get an additional duplication tincture throughout the run. Now, if you really, really wanted to, you could put on the potion silliness and go with this one and the other one over here. However, after doing some testing, you basically end up at the same amount of defense within a 20-minute run. If you were going to do a vault run or something like that, or like a longer vault run, you could absolutely put the other one on and go for it like that. So we're going to put the plated boots for more defense, defiant plate, and we're going to go in with the healing wrappings. So I'll show you what the setup is here. We are going to use confusing lens. These are the ones we're going to leave off. So basically the ones that slow you down, the ones that make the abilities random, the one that decreases our damage and the modifiers on the player by 20%. So we're going to do Torment 25. I'll show you just how crazy strong this build is, and we can do it without any shard investment whatsoever. We're going to take Spirit Dude, because Spirit Dude is life. He's going to be our starter. He's going to carry us early game here. Alright, so let's get into this one. What are we going to do? The idea of the build is pretty simple. If you've watched some of the Torment 30 content, the kind of concept is somewhat similar. However, we're going to do this without any shards, so things are going to get pretty tricky here. Let's see, we don't care for pickup range, I don't think. We're not really going to use it that much. So early game is pretty straightforward. We're just going to get to, you know, level 5 here and get some defenses happening. You can see our base defense early on is 125, which is pretty nice starting place. Now, we did take one thick hide there already. We're going to get rid of this because we're using the confusing lens, so they do not go very well together. We can just sort of take damage output here, but since we have no shard investment whatsoever, I've taken a little bit of defense along the way. In terms of regen and stuff is also not bad as well, but I think we will go into pretty hard into offensive damage here. Okay, so we've got level 5, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to use a potion here. Reroll. We didn't get it. You know what? We're going to get greedy and take it. Okay, and now we're going to use our duplication tincture on this one. And this is going to put us up, and our Defiant Plate's not active right now, so the more hits we take with Defiant Plate, it'll stack up to 10, and it'll give us even more base defense. So we'll have a preview of it later. Now, for this kind of build, we haven't stacked anything into Force because we just don't have any shards, but we can still take these kind of abilities because they're quite strong, and they're quite useful for the final boss arena. So we're going to take this one out of the dedication. We don't really need to use potions there. Let's just take it. Let's continue on. Early game is actually, as you can see, very straightforward. We are 0 shard investment, Torment 25. Let's go some health. Taking the health along the way is going to be valuable for us here because we do have the artifact on that decreases our health every time we level up. So taking the vitality there is actually going to be quite nice for us. Let's go base force here. We'll take another scroll and grab ring blades early. We can go those 3 abilities. We could just take base damage, it doesn't hurt. Our Spirit Dude is nice. He's not necessarily the focus of the DPS. He will do some decent damage for us though during the run, especially early on. He's a really good early game choice in my opinion. Let's go for the projectiles there. Projectile damage. Let's go for our ring blades. Let's get the main 3 abilities we want to use in this run. Let's get them up and running. Okay, as you can see, we're leveling pretty efficiently here. We could go for crit chance specifically on that thing since we have not, we haven't really spec'd that hard into crit. We have a crit ring, so that's about it. No shard investment whatsoever. Also means we only have pretty much base health. Obviously, we're sitting just below 600 right now. We got that one again. We got the stance too. Let's just take the base health here. We'll just sort of chill too. We are relatively fast on this this kind of setup on this character, which is nice. Okay, we got an additional +5 here. Let's take that one. Now, the idea will be to be pretty tanky throughout the run here. We are going to use the plate. The plate is not actually going to be our main sort of DPS source. It will be one of the DPS sources, but it doesn't actually kind of skyrocket as crazy as it does with, say, Torment 30, for example. There's a few reasons to that. We won't get into that right now because Torment 30 is just a different beast altogether with some of the modifiers on there. It's a third time it's giving me that one. You know what? Let's take damage. Now, to farm gold, you want to make sure you're picking up all of the piles that you see. Now, later on, we'll get more elites and stuff spawn, and we'll have pretty massive gold piles. We are going to be able to get a lot of gold per run here. Now, once you sort of get the hang of how to build this build during the run, you can get these level up screens going really, really fast. Obviously, I'm sitting here explaining things to you. So, this particular run will probably take half an hour or, half an hour-ish, but once you actually, sort of understand what you're doing and how you're building it, you can really get it done in like 20 to 25 minutes a run. Let's just take the XP for now. We definitely don't want that one. We do want to dupe this one again. Now, as I said earlier, I did some testing with the other headband, the potion headband with the necklace, and we ended up pretty much exactly the same amount of defense value after a 20-minute run here. So you can go either way. If you really, really like the other potion setup, totally you can go for that. The problem I find with that setup with this particular build is not only one is unnecessary because the values totally even out throughout the run. With that sort of build, you have to kind of wait for the potions to come back, and obviously you're running around picking up the red ones, but I didn't get my last duplication tincture until about 3 or 4 minutes left, and with this particular setup, our defense is maximized much sooner, so I actually think this is the slightly superior setup here. More damage on projectiles? Sure, we'll do that. Now, I also tested this build with white gear only, and you can totally do it. The only thing is you kind of need the green plate for help with the boss fights. No shards plus, only white gear is pretty rough at Torment 25. Not gonna lie, it's still possible. I actually I tested it, I got through to the bosses, and man, the boss fights unfortunately take a long time like that with only the white gear. But it does allow you to pick up some purples along the way, which is kind of fun, so, Here we go. You can probably just stand in them right now. Look at that, we're already AFK farming them. Let's go. Let's dupe the percentage defense there again. And more defense. What are we sitting at now? 378. See what I'm talking about? We're not even 4 minutes in. We're already well on our way to victory here. Now, we can take stuff like Transfixion and Aura to apply additional debuffs, but right now I kind of want to level these things a bit more, especially the Ring Blades and the Morning Star. These are obviously two of the strongest abilities in the game right now, especially if you stack Force. We have not stacked Force because we have no shards to stack. We could put Force on another piece of gear, like, you could take off the necklace and put Force on there instead, if you want extra damage output, but that is a green one, so depending on where you're at in the game, if you have that gear or not, but you can totally do this pretty early on. I would say you at the very least go and get yourself the green Defiant Plate with the Physical Blast. If you get the green wrappings that heal you too, that's going to be really, really nice, but even the white ones are pretty good at healing, so okay, we've got that to level 3. Could use some potions on it maybe, but nah. Let's go Cyclone. I can just AFK farm them if we really wanted to here. We'll get our stuff to 6 here first, I think. Let's try and avoid picking those up. I can switch on the damage numbers for you here so you can sort of see what's going on. Look, we already had some purple items. Now, I do have the artifact equipped that does not allow us to equip the purple items, so... Or unequip the green ones, I should say. More technically correct. Okay, we like the dash impact, probably. Yeah, probably, especially for the final boss fight, it's better. You can see our physical blast is going to be a lot of these small white numbers that you see. Is the physical blast going off. We don't have insanely high crit, so some of the other abilities might be putting out some white numbers there too. Alright, we go defense. So defense stacking is the most powerful way to play this game in terms of the really, really high torment levels. Obviously, we've done some really silly builds at the kind of, you know... I think Torment 15 is a really great place to showcase some of the super silly builds this game has to offer. But if you really want to farm and farm gold efficiently, you have to go to the higher torment levels. And I think this build shows that you can totally do it without grinding super, super hard in the end game. Most of the items we have on are pretty easily accessible. Some of them do come from quests, but most of them are actually very, very accessible items. Some of them are even unlocked when you very first start the game too. So actually we will wait for our tincture to come back to do this one. So we're gonna avoid it for now. Keep going on our abilities here. Alright. Sit right in them. We're not healing that much yet, but it's enough. You can see the healing going off in the middle there. Let's just take Piercing Winds for now. I think we'll have to wait quite a few minutes here until we get the Proficient stance 5 there. Or 4, rather. Let's just get rid of some of this junk. We're not using it. And yes, it is junk for this build. Riflewoman, huh? Here we go. We got another dedication we like. Damage for projectiles. These, which one is it? This one is considered a projectile as well, so we don't mind taking that. Getting a weapon stance up to 4 there is nice as well. Now we just want efficient stance, but like I said, we're going to hold off on that one for a little bit. Now, as you can see, this build, we already have, 442, 95%, only 6 minutes in. So this is what I'm talking about. This is easily the strongest build for farming high torment levels for gold and shards. You can, I think, if you really work this this build and learn what you're doing, you can do 2.5 runs in an hour if you're very, very efficient. It'll be 2 runs in an hour if you're kind of dawdling and stuff. But if you're really, really efficient about what you're doing, you can get roughly 2.5 done per hour. Especially if you actually have some shard investment. Because we've gone in with 0 shards, the final bosses are actually going to take maybe 2 minutes or so instead of, 20 or so seconds. Which, yes, you can you can sort of farm the bosses. If you have 1,000 shards or whatever, you can farm the bosses with this build in about 20 seconds at the end. Now, obviously, not everyone has 1,000 shards. That's why I'm doing it with 0 shard count here to show you guys just how easy it really is to do this. 95% damage resistance, healing from our wraps. We don't even need really anything else to get through the run here, but we are going to boost up our damage more here as we go. Okay, let's take the warrior. My spirit dude. Yeah, let's go needles. I really like spirit dude. I think it's a really good starting choice for your runs, especially if you're going to go with a summoning build or if you're going to go with high movement speed kind of build. He's really, really nice in a high movement speed build as well. Now, obviously, the stuff like Ring Blades and Morningstar, they just do more DPS, and you can really pump them up with Force pretty easily. This guy, I don't think Force affects him. Let's double check while we're here. I don't think Force does anything at all. Yeah, you can't Force stack on him, unfortunately. But you can get a whole bunch of summons out. You can have, I mean, I've had at least 6 of them out in one run before, which was really good. That was really awesome. That was the Warlock run, I think we did. Oh, was that the big ball run? That might have been the big ball run too. That was really fun. We actually have enough to take the butterfly swing here too now. Nice. We're pretty much set here. We're Agony 4. And it hasn't come yet. That's fine. Now, if you really wanted to, you could just sit here and AFK farm the heads. But, you know, let's go for a run and have some fun here. Okay, crit bonus. Alright. So, shout out to everyone who's been tuning into the live streams lately. We've been doing a few more as the live streams have been getting more popular. We had actually quite a big turnout today, this morning, when I streamed, which was really awesome. I wasn't necessarily expecting a Monday morning stream to do that well, but I guess maybe it's Sunday night over there. Everyone's having a relaxed evening or whatever. I do get viewers from all around the world, which is cool. I know I've said that before, so apologize if I'm repeating myself. Let's continue on here. Let's see, we're just like completely immune to taking damage, which is kind of insane, but kind of hilarious at the same time. Could take something else out of here, but you know what? I'm gonna just take it. Let's get this going to 6. We'll go with the health. Now we do have some memory potions. We can use them on Morning Star, I think. Now, one of the other reasons to use the headband potion and stuff, as we were talking about earlier, is you can get some extra memory potions out of it. So that means you can take a few extra traits for some of your main abilities, which is really nice, but it's 100% unnecessary to do what we're doing here. It's totally up to personal preference, you know what I mean? It's 100% unnecessary to farm this way. I didn't pick up the the scroll, did I? No, I didn't. Okay, let's go the fragile. Anyway, I just had a Windows pop-up come up right there. Totally halted my momentum. Let's continue. I don't know what I did right there. I might just edit that out. Anyway, let's continue. Okay, where are we at? Shield Maidens. Well, we got block strength. You know what? We could take it. I'm gonna just take force. Why not? Force is more damage and more duration for our 2 big damage dealing abilities, so we'll take that. Alright, let's continue here. Almost halfway through already. Now, you might be thinking the gold count doesn't look that impressive just yet. However, things will escalate in the second half of the run. That is just how the game is designed. So, we like getting Transfixion up to 3, probably. I think Aura getting up to 6 can be nice for the additional attacks to apply more fragile and stuff. But getting it to at least level 3 is pretty nice here. Let's just get rid of this junk. Let's go crit bonus. Let's just keep going. Let's just take it, get it out of there. It came up twice for me. Now, this is not a block build, so you know what? It doesn't really matter. You can just ignore that. I'm accidentally picking up so many. Just give me the XP at this point. Okay, now we can go for a little run and try and collect some more gold. Now, there will be more gold dropping from more of the elites and stuff that spawn in. Look, this guy's right here. See if these two will drop anything for us. Now, it's probably more efficient to actually AFK this build, which is kind of crazy. We still get the extra potions on our memory with this thing anyway. It's just, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. I still think this setup is more consistent and just easier. It's easier to manage for the player, so I think it's a better setup for what specifically for what we're doing. Obviously, those potions, the potion abuse can be really good on some builds. Let's go with a crit chance. Can we get an aura? Let's see if we can get an aura here to apply fragile. Could try and get our abilities to 10, but as I said before, it's not really strictly necessary. No, we did not. Okay. Need a new mouse pad. This thing is kind of slipping around a bit awkwardly. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, can we get another aura here? No, we cannot. Some more scrolls down here. Let's go for them. Now, in terms of farming gold in here, it actually makes more sense to just do the AFK method, because all the gold... Oh, we got attack speed physical. So these two are going to be physical. Minus magic damage. You know, these two aren't the biggest damage dealers for us. This one is decent. We can have a look. The spirit dude, you know, he's okay, but... Let's take attack speed physical. We haven't really spec'd into, you know, summons or anything like that in this build. So he's... Or magic specifically. So he's, you know... He's a good starter choice, and that's why I like him, but if you really want to take advantage of Spirit Dude, you really have to build into him a bit. Still waiting on the potion. Alright. See if we can get some Morning Star upgrades or ring blades. See if we can get them leveled. Still no still no aura, man. Okay, well. Let's get rid of... I don't want lightning. I don't want negative move speed, do I? I guess we could take this one. Attack speed and move speed for our summon. Yeah. Alright, well, this is a instance where we could just use some of our potions at this point, I think. We got plenty now. Just sitting there. Now, if you do have, like, 500 shards or something that you wanted to pump in this build, you could put it into force to really pump up these two abilities. You could put it into just damage and crit to pump up all of your, you know, ability damage. You could even just stack HP if you really wanted to. This build is pretty... Oh, look, we got it. Nice. All right, I didn't realize. All right, let's take the Morning Star stuff here first. Look how many gold piles are starting to drop for us now. And this is how we farm the gold. You see these big gold circles dropping for us? This is how we farm. Do we want anything else out of Spirit Dude? Crit chance and crit bonus together? Yeah, let's take that. We've got defense too. I'm going to take the extra tiny bit of defense. How did our defense end up here right now? We haven't actually got it fully online yet. And we're still... what are we? 95.5, which is kind of insane. Okay, it's not coming up. That's right, we'll do these first. We could head up towards the grabber hand over there too. Just scoop up the XP, but for farming gold, as I said before, it makes more sense to just keep in a tight little circle or just totally AFK farm. Here we go, we got it. All right. Let's take that last one, and then we'll check our defense again. Here we go. All right, it's in at 565. There we go, 96.0%. That's what I'm talking about. Excellent. We are basically invulnerable now, especially with our wraps. So let's just... We'll kill as much as we can, and then we collect the XP. We really like False Blessing. It'll give us more Fragile. Fragile gives the enemies a debuff that'll make all of our damage increase 5% per stack. So don't sleep on Fragile. It's very powerful. We could take Damage Projectile for a bit of negative force. I mean, I don't know if that one's worth it necessarily. Let's maybe spend some down here, huh? You know what? We got the extra potions from our necklace, so we're not really short of potions at all. So what I said earlier in the video about using the other setup, it is still viable, but yeah, I think we just sort of end up in the same spot basically anyway. So this is just a simpler approach, I think. Let's sit here farming. Kill the elites, so we get the gold. Give me the gold piles. I have 14,000 at the moment, so this is actually not the highest run we've done. We'll see if it escalates towards the end. It does, it is RNG too, so I say upwards of 100,000 an hour because there is still some RNG involved. It depends on how many of the elites drop the big gold piles for you. But there are so many elites here that, you know, by the end we should have at least 30,000, if not more. On some runs we've gotten well over 40,000 too, so we'll just keep going on our mains here. If we get the aura to show up, I mean, we'll take it. Okay, I've got one left. Let's do it. Let's just do it. Actually, there's another force one in here, isn't it? Yeah. Let's do that one instead. Also, I turned off the... I turned back on, I should say, the pixelated fonts, and it has improved my game performance, which is kind of crazy to think about. Just the resolution of the text changes this game's performance, which is just ridiculous, but hey. It's interesting. Ridiculous and interesting at the same time. Okay, we got one. Give me aura. That's not aura, dude. Aura damage by itself is actually pretty bad. I mean, you can sort of make something work on the cleric with all the extra magic damage and stuff, but it's mostly good for debuffing, so you really want to take the debuff upgrade for it at level 3. Okay, we've got one more chance. Hey, we got it. Hey. Alright. See if we can get it to 3 before the boss fight. That's all we really, that's all we really need. We don't even need it, honestly. Look, we're at 400 health. And we're doing Torment 25 under 400 health, and we're basically invincible. Without any shards. 0 shard investment, don't forget. Now, high torment levels do get pretty crazy. There's another build you can do that I did on stream with the archer, and that was really fun. We farmed a whole bunch of gold, but man, I love me some Landerschnecht. I think it's become my favorite character. I really like the archer and the cleric and stuff as well. Don't get me wrong. But I think this character just kind of synergizes with how I like to play pretty well. Let's just take multi-strike there. Okay, we've got this, but we can't put anything up. See if we left any gold piles lying around. We did a little bit there. Some health potions down there too if we really felt like we needed them, but we do not. Alright. Let's AFK farm them a little bit here. Let's see if we can stack up some more gold by then. We're only 20,000, which is decent in a run, but nothing crazy. Can get a lot higher if your RNG is better, as I said before. But yeah, look, we got some gold piles right here already. Get out of there. Keep running into that. It's become a bad habit on high torment levels when you can't see anything. Let's see. Damage, cold size. Let's go blade size and damage there. We can turn our numbers off just to make things a little smoother and cleaner right here. Oh man, I keep doing it because I just can't see it. Alright, well, let's move a little bit further away from it, huh? What, we got 22,000? It's not too bad. Now, the thing is too, if you have more shards, right, you're going to be killing things even quicker. And the quicker you can kill things in here, the more spawns, and then the more spawns, obviously, the more elites will come out. The more elites come out, the more gold that drops, etc, etc, right? We don't have any more potions right now. We only got 3 minutes left anyway. Give me the gold. So the cool thing with a build like this is the more that you play at Torment 25 with a build like this, the more efficient you'll get, and the more gold and stuff that you'll earn along the way. So it's a really cool build. Starts off being very viable and then becomes pretty much the strongest build in the game, at least for high Torment. Obviously, as I said before, Torment 15 to 20 or so, you can do some pretty crazy stuff. If you want to push above Torment 25, some of those builds just completely fall apart, which, you know, it is what it is. Let's go for the aura. Take you I don't really care which upgrade we get with like. More area on it, I guess, but... any extra fragile will be nice here. I don't think I want to go negative force or damage really that much. We could take an amputation here. Let's do it. Alright, see if we can get any more big gold piles dropping for us towards the end here. There's some. Nice. Alright, we like the attack speed 1 on here is what we want. Now, we don't have a scroll in close proximity. That's unfortunate. I guess maybe we get one in the next 2 minutes. If not, it's actually not the end of the world. We can do this without aura. It's not really... As I said earlier in the video, it's not really a requirement to take half of these abilities. Some extra abilities to help out with the boss damage at the end when you're running no shards is going to be really nice though. So let's see, we've got a nice big chunk of gold over here again. Looks like we should end up well above 30,000 for gold here, which is nice. Be nice if there was a gold magnet on the battlefield somewhere here too. Here we go. Here's even more. Excellent. All right, we cracked over 30,000. We've got even more here. See, towards the end of the run, you get a lot of elites spawning, so the higher the higher damage you have in here, the more shards, the more you're going to be able to really farm it. Let's go attack speed. Yeah, let's go attack speed. Alright, we're almost done here. We've got a minute left. Let's see, do we want the crit? Let's just go the attack speed here. Here we go, more gold. 32,000, and we got a little bit unlucky during the run with some of the elites not dropping us as many gold piles earlier on. As I said, you can get to well over 40,000 if your RNG is a bit better than we got in this particular run. Base grenade is kind of fun here. You know what? Let's do it. Just for fun. Oh, look, we got another memories. We can use that on something. We only got so many levels up left, though, before time runs out. So we can kill one more elite. I don't think we really want that stuff, do we? If we're going to dupe anything else. We'll just take the crit bonus. Now, if you do have some shard investment, you can pretty easily kill these guys sooner than we killed them here. We're killing them right towards the end, which, is interesting. We'll go... I guess we'll just go crit here. Yeah, only 300 health. Here we go, the big heads are going down. So it is a capable build of killing the big heads. Without any shards as well, which is really cool. Alright, we've got 10 seconds left. I'll show you the AFK nature of this setup here. Alright, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, as I was saying earlier, the more shards you have, the quicker this part will go. We might have to end up sitting here for a minute or so, but I will use that time to once again say thank you for tuning in to the live streams. We might start doing some more regular streams, as there have been quite a few people joining the live streams in the last week or two. So I really appreciate everyone who comes in and checks out what we're doing. So thanks if you are one of those, and I usually put the timestamps in the past broadcasts when we do some interesting builds and stuff in there. So I do actually have a playlist on the channel that is Halls of Torment live past broadcasts. So if you want to check those, some of them have some really cool runs in there. We've done crazy gimmick runs, we've done Torment 30 runs. We've done shard farming, we've done vault runs, we've done a vault marathon run, so that's all there if you guys are interested in that stuff. I also had one of the commenters ask if we could do some more Vampire Hunters on the channel, so we might play a little bit more of that game. I enjoyed my first few runs in there, but I only played it for about an hour or so thus far, so I am still pretty new. Does this guy have a second health bar? We shall find out here pretty soon. Oh, he's stuck on that thing. Let's get him a little bit closer to us. Does he have the second health bar? Nope, he's dead. Oh, no, yeah, he does. He has the second health bar. That's all right. I've also really enjoyed the Magicraft. We played maybe 4 or 5 hours of that one now, and there are some pretty awesome and really fun builds. There's one build where you have basically like a really long pole, and then you stick your wand on the end, so it's like you can cast your wand from range. It's very silly. I added like a AoE explosion to it, so I was like exploding on the enemies from range. It was really fun. Very silly build, and then we added the electrified circle on the ground that just keeps zapping people on top of it. Now you can see the true power of this build. It is a 100% AFK boss farm build at Torment 25, and we are using 0 shard investment. So this is why I wanted to show you guys that this build, we're sitting just at about 35,000 for our money. So maybe it'll take you 3 runs ish to get 100,000 if you get, you know, medium luck. If you get a lot of luck, it can take you only 2-ish runs. But you can get, yeah, roughly upwards of 100,000 in an hour. And each of these guys should be dropping 4. At Torment 25, they should each be dropping 4 for me, which is going to be 12. But I think even if they only drop 3, it'll be 10 to 12, which you can get at least 25 or so, 25 to 30 in an hour. And he's about to go down here. Now, as I said, if you got a lot of shards and you've invested hard into damage, these guys will die very quickly. Here we go, we did it. Let's check out the end screen here. See the damage, almost 2.4 billion with 0 shard investment. This is what I'm talking about, Torment 25. Where are the shards? We don't have any. What did the damage for us? The plate, obviously, but the ring blades and the Morningstar. This is why we take them, and the grenades too. This is another reason that Lander Schnecht is pretty good at the high torment level. The grenades are pretty good. We might do a grenade build at some point on the channel here too, but there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you can farm Torment 25 with 0 shard investment. It's quite easy. You do need a few pieces of gear. You can do it without most of the gear at green level, but I think you really want to take at the very least this one in at green, and having the extra potions can be nice too. So these two as green, you can totally do it with these all as white gear and just pick up purples along the way if you get lucky. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in to another one. I hope you have a fantastic, amazing day. Take it easy. If you have any more build suggestions or anything like that, drop them in the comments. If you have any ideas for other games you'd like to see on the channel, drop that in the comments as well. And I'll catch you in the next video. Take it easy. I hope you have a fantastic, amazing day.